手入場です。皆さん立ち上がり選手を迎えましょう。お待たせいたしました。審判並びに両チーム選手の入場です。
he has been the man in the middle in their fixtures. Yosuke Araki is on VAR duty for us today. 3 alterations for Reds from their last game, a 2-1 home loss to Machida Zelvia that came before the international break. Danilo Boza is back after a month on the sidelines. Kai Shibato returns in midfield. Yoichi Naganuma is back in defence. Top scorer Renji Hidano only on the bench. Kenta Namoto and Takuya Ogiwara also make way. Namoto hadn't previously missed a minute of this special season, but as Reds search for stability at the back, he stands down for this crucial clash against Edzora Nero. Again, 4-2-3-1. It'll be fascinating to see if Machia Scorza on the left there is true to his word. He suggested ahead of kickoff that his side would employ a high press. They will look to get in behind Kawasaki Frontale, look to try and catch them on the transition. There's certainly some talent in the Reds lineup, but both teams have been inconsistent over the course of this season. So here we go, 6th host 5th in Group East, both aiming for an upturn in form, looking to gain momentum as the 100-year Vision League wraps up the first half of its spring series schedule. Historically, this is a fixture that does not lack drama. The Reds ended last season with a 4-0 win inside Tama. Kawasaki crushed that day. But earlier in 2025, these two played out a 2-2 thriller here at the Todoroki. Reds Daiichi Okubo scoring a late leveller that sent the away end wild. And they also met in the League Cup, of course, last season. Frontale winning 4-3 on aggregate. That after extra time, Ten Miyagi only on the bench today with the winner. So we're underway here. Two teams that haven't quite clicked so far in this spring series. A transitional league, as we know, starting the day off the pace as they aim to just climb up the table and up the standings and aim to put a little bit of pressure on those teams just above them. Hasn't been a season so far that either will look on with any real fondness. Reds in 5th and Frontale in 6th, both with 11 points. Identical records in terms of wins, draws and defeats, but of course in this special season the shootout comes into its own. Any drawn fixture goes to penalties with an extra point on offer for the side that does win the shootout. And mixed fortunes for these two sides when it comes to penalties so far this season. Kawasaki Frontale have managed to win 2 of 3 so far. Urawa Reds, on the other hand, have lost both of their shootouts against FC Tokyo and also Kashiwa Reysol. Challenge from Ito, who was singled out, incidentally, by Matchweek Scorza in the run-up to this game, saying he does like to cut in from the right-hand side. He's a real special talent, featured in every single game so far this season. Just the 1 assist, though, for him. Let's see what Matteo Savio can do then for Reds. Highish line from the Kawasaki Frontale backline. Matteo Savio to curl in, not the worst ball as well. Big chance taken, smashed in with real quality. However, the flag is up. Let's take another look at this offside. Really good delivery. Well, it will be checked, of course. Scorza, yeah, thinks it's close. From the one replay that we've seen, it did look as if there were a few Reds players the wrong side of the Kawasaki Frontale backline, but which ones? Because potentially Moto wasn't. It is very, very tight. You can see that there are five players right on the end of that Frontale defensive line. But Nemoto potentially was on. Took it down brilliantly, didn't he? That's really good technique to fire home. Player initially wasn't listed in the starting lineup, but has he done enough here? Did he time his run a little better than one or two just in front? We still wait. Around the blonde-haired figure, because there is one Kawasaki Frontale player that potentially is playing him on. Incidentally, Kenta Nemoto was initially listed as a sub. Yuta Miyamoto was in the starting 11 that was released, and still we wait. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because there's so many players in and around, and this is where we get to clear and obvious, because it's anything but clear, anything but obvious. You almost need camera down on the edge of the penalty area, as Maciej Skorsa still waits, as we all do. So Kenta Nemoto hasn't scored this season. And initially not listed in the lineup. Well, he's making a point here if he has scored. Well, how long do we wait in situations like that? Shigetoshi Hasabi will be hoping that his side get the call. At the moment they have, because the flag did go up. How long do we wait for decisions such as this? World over, VAR divides opinion. And this is one of the biggest reasons, because we have to wait so long for decisions to be made. One or two of the players going through their warm-up exercises again, because we've had such a long break in play. This will be added on to the end of the half, obviously. Still we wait. The initial decision was that he was offside. There were a clutch of Reds players, certainly the wrong side of the Kawasaki Frontale backline, and you could argue that, are they interfering with play? Probably. Do any of them catch the eye of the keeper? Almost certainly. And that might be as big as reason to rule this one off, but the longer we wait, you think it may well stand. Let's see. There's your answer. And it's probably the right call. It's so difficult to see. So the goal will stand. Reds have the advantage, and it's the best possible start for Maciej Skorsa's side. Of the players that made the move towards the edge of the penalty area, you can see the blonde-haired figure. He is on. The lines are drawn. There might be as many as 4 Reds players who are the wrong side of the Frontale backline, i.e. closer to the keeper. But Nemoto was not one of them. And before. His goal stands. It took us about 6 or 7 minutes to get there. That is the price of modern football, apparently. Certainly in the VAR era. Haven't got to the bottom of the situation in terms of why he was promoted to the starting lineup for Reds, but obviously from Mathias Gorza's point of view and from Reds fans' point of view, he will be more than pleased. So Frontale with a bit of work to do from the get-go here. Oh, that's awkward, and that's the equaliser! Own goal! Well, what an incredible start to this fixture. We're back level. Danilo Bosa stretching out. Just look at the number 3 here. Tries to cut out the cross, doesn't get the shout. There's no danger in behind. But off the studs and beyond a wrong-footed Shisako Nishikawa. And Kenta Namoto, the goal scorer at the other end, could only look on. Well, he hasn't played for over a month. Danilo Bosa maybe just a little ring rusty, sign from Vissel Kobe. Sure what to make of the start of this fixture. Unorthodox to say the least. We waited 5 plus 6 minutes, 7 minutes maybe for a decision to be given via VAR. Then we've got an own goal to level things up. Now we've got another free kick. Broderson will be warning his players to try and stay a little tighter in terms of their defensive line. Kenta Namoto takes up a familiar position. Matteo Savio to take the free kick. Well, same again, really, from the Brazilian midfielder. Curled in, back post, nearly the same outcome. Danilo Bosa, who scored an own goal just a few moments ago, stealing in round the back. Could not direct his effort on target. Well, he was a regular last season for Urawa. Played 35 of the 38 games. He did score once. That was against Marinos in a 3-1 win back in April, but has had all sorts of injury issues this season, and this doesn't look good at all for him. His last appearance was in late February in a 3-2 home reverse at the hands of Kashima Antlers. Just wondered, as he stretches there, is it the way that he lands? Just trying to guide it back across the face of goal. Just trying to shake it off. Did play for Reds in the Club World Cup last summer as they went out at the group stage. It was disappointing, really. They did lose all of their games. They were really unlucky against Inter, the Italian side. They were beaten 2-1 when it looked like they were going to win. They were beaten by River Plate in their first group fixture and then went down 4-0 to Monterrey, the Mexican side. And Danilo Bosa featured in all of those games and was a mainstay last season after signing from Juventude, the Brazilian team. Did have a brief spell in European football with Sporting Braga, didn't make the grade there after coming through at Mirassol. Real success story, of course, in Brazilian football recently. And this doesn't look good at all. Mathias Gorza Speaking with a couple of his players, Danilo Boza doesn't need the stretcher, but I don't think he can continue here. So another change is going to be made. Well, 13 minutes on the clock, it feels like we've only had about 3 minutes of actual action. Change required. It's a real shame. Speaking with his compatriot here, Matteo Savio, as Danilo Boza comes across. Is it the hip? Is it the groin? Whatever the issue, an alteration's going to be made here. Wincing as he comes to this near side. Groin potentially the problem. Perfect start for Reds, but then since then an own goal and an injury to a key defender. And at the moment down to 10. Frontale with just 1 win in their last 5, a 2-0 success against Tokyo Verdy. 2 clean sheets this season, both away from home, incidentally. MEIJI is on. Versatile player who gets his debut, incidentally. Academy, played midfield and at the back. Let's see where he slots in here. Might just be a little bit of a reshuffle at the back. He's just 22, but he's highly thought of. Having come through university attached to Urawa Reds. So 1-1, an incident-packed opening quarter of an hour. We might get as many as 7 minutes added on at the end of this first half. We'll see. Haven't really picked up any sort of rhythm in this fixture just yet. Let's see if Frontale can provide it here. They lose out centrally. Yasui does well for Kaneko on the right-hand side. Iwu, the central striker, I don't think he's had a touch of the football just yet. Just made a run there as Nemoto tries to play it forward. It's Mura who runs into trouble and the ball spills out for a Frontale throw. We've got another stoppage. Harrison this time, who was knocked over by Nemoto. Just a little winded here, the top goal scorer of Kawasaki Frontale, 6 so far this season. Scored a brilliant hat-trick against Kashiwa Reysol and a 5-3 home success. Also goals against Machida Zelvia, Tokyo Verdy and Mito. Mixing a little the Brazilian. That Frontale were hoping for last season, eventually finished 8th in 2025 for the 3rd straight season. They had won 4 of the previous 6 titles in Japan. Lost the semi-final of the League Cup to Kashiwa Reysol. Went out in the 3rd round to lower league opposition in the Emperor's Cup. And they did put an awful lot of their eggs in the continental basket. Did really well in the Champions League elite stage. eventually, of course, were runners-up in the competition. They were beaten by Al Ahly, lost the final back in May by 2-0, beat Al Nassr in the semi-final. Some really good performances in the Champions League. First East Asian club to reach the revamped Champions League elite final. Erisson on the move, won't get to that first time around. Marcinho gets another go. This is Erisson once more. Marcinho continued his run. Nemoto clears. Erisson, though, has gone down. He's been in the wars in the last few minutes. Top, wasn't it, that one? So Kawasaki Frontale with a free kick here. 1-1, 19 minutes in. An opportunity potentially to spin this one inside the penalty area. Erisson just moving gingerly towards his position. Marcinho closest to us. 3 just in behind that line of 5 Reds players. This was going to be whipped towards goal, but it was high and over by quite some distance. Poor effort really from the skipper. Got underneath it. Still struggling a little bit. To's opener, an own goal leveller. 1-1, 20 minutes in. And Nishikawa punts it long. Mariyama with the header. Scampering back. Here's Shibato. Yasui. Only win against Mito Hollyhock in early March in their last 5, just that one success. They've lost their last 2 coming into this against Tokyo Verdy away from home, and they were beaten by Machida Zelvia to win a penalty shootout as we described earlier. It's against Jeff United, Yokohama F. Marinos and Mito. The time that they've had a shutout was against Tokyo Verdy, 1-0 reverse. So flicks it forward. Yamahara, the right back, unable to get onto it. This is Nishikawa. Just trying to work out where Ueki is going to step in. It does look like he's going to play at the back. He was very much a midfielder in his university days. He was captain at Nihon University. This is Watanabe, called Wakizaka. The pressure, Shigetoshi Hasabi to a certain extent, given how good Kawasaki Frontale were previously. Ito. Savio, who claims that his side should have had the throw-in, not given. Because he took over from Toru Oniki, did so well. Frontale plays some brilliant football, won plenty of titles as well. It was difficult coming in after such a trophy-laden era. It's been very hit and miss for Frontale this season. They're the only side in J1 that have scored 5 goals in a game, but also conceded 5 goals in the game. Toa will nod it down. Erison is on the move. Nemoto across to deal with the danger. Flicked back inside by Yamahara. Will get a second opportunity. Touch from Wakizaka. This is Tachibanada. Better from Frontale. Mura on the left-hand side. Marcinho will take a touch. Looks to scamper towards the byline. Free kick. Wakizaka to place the ball. Missed the previous game, the club captain, but 5 goal involvements this season. 3 goals, 2 assists. 3 times the title winner. Scored some big goals last season, including the winner in the quarter-final of the Champions League against Al Sadd in extra time. Can he conjure here? He's going to whip this one in. Wakizaka to whip in. Needed a bit more curl to trouble the keeper. He's an accomplished footballer, but that one flying well wide. Japanese international, but won't be heading to the World Cup finals with the national side. Last of 4 caps coming some 4 years ago in his career with Frontale. A real servant for them. 41 goals, 223 top flight appearances. Has been the mainstay for Frontale in the course of the last 7 years, really. One back by Yamamoto. Here is Wakizaka. Marcinho, Erison on the move, looked offside, play continues for now. This is Erison! Just made the run a little too soon. The flag these days goes up a little later than traditionally. Easy one really for the assistant to give straight away, but they let things play out. They've always got the safety net of VAR, however long that might take. Start of the season for a player that managed 12 goals last term, was in and out the starting lineup, started just 20 of the 38 games, was used as an impact substitute a lot. Signed in January of 2024 from Botafogo. Here he is, Erison, all on his own at the moment, needs a little bit of help. Ito. Yamamoto's touch. Matsunagane. Let's have it. Curled to this near side of the captain, Watanabe. Yamahara. It's a little late from Erison. The referee had 2 opportunities to stop play. He does so second time around. Until the perpetrator on this occasion. A bit awkward, but Erison, you can see he was offering apologies as he went to ground very early. Matheus Savio. Shibato for Sekine. Nemoto. Here is Ueki. Just unlucky. Matheus Savio can't keep it in play. To see what he can do on his debut at 22. Always seems a little unusual to see quality players make their top flight debut, their club debut, their senior debut at 22. One of those situations where you do get Japanese players heading to Europe a little earlier. In Japan, a number of the players will play for the university side and go through college before making their professional debut. Similar sort of things happen in Major League Soccer as well. More and more players are coming to Europe a little earlier. Anewu has played in European football. Tejas Savio overcooks that one. I tend to think that you miss out on a lot of good coaching if you're making your debut at 22. Skulsa happy to introduce Oiki early on in this game because of the injury to Danilo Bozza. Brodersen waits. Yamamoto. Maruyama. Sunagane to his right. Yamahara on this near side. Here comes the press that Skulsa was talking about. You can see that it's the captain Watanabe that's triggered that. Brodersen with a straight ball forward for Yamamoto. They played around it well so far, have Kawasaki Frontale. But they're not quick enough really to punish Reds, who've got a number of players forward to affect that press. This is Yamahara, quite content to just retain possession. 1-1 as we approach the half hour. Massinho. Maruyama. Brodersen. German under-20 World Cup performer back in 2017. Joined Frontale for the start of this season, having helped Fajano Okayama gain promotion to J1. Through the St. Pauli Academy, did play in the Bundesliga for St. Pauli. Never present so far this season. But 2 clean sheets, and obviously it's going to stay as it is, given the scoreline here. Anewu. Harrison won't get to that. Yamamoto wins it back here. Massinho to his left. Harrison calling for it as well. This is Ito, still going, and still. And now it's Massinho looking to curl one. Hits Namoto. Well, a penalty's been awarded here. Namoto is suggesting that it hit his chest. Let's take another look. 4 on 3, 5 on 3 here in Frontale's favour. And as Massinho took the shot on, which part of the body does it strike? Is it in the rib cage? Kenta Namoto suggesting it did not hit the arm, and I think he's probably right. Well, he's had one decision overturned in his favour, and I think he's going to get another here. This one, hopefully, will be a little quicker to sort out. Looking at Massinho's face, I don't think he really believed initially, but when the referee pointed to the spot, obviously he's going to take it. But I think that it hits the sort of rib cage on the right-hand side of Kenta Namoto. But Koichiro Fukushima will have to wait until the decision is given. Here we go again. This isn't the best angle because the arm's moving behind the back. Frontale are desperate for the penalty decision to stand. Situations like this, I sort of half understand the fact that they want the referee to take a look at it, but this looks pretty clear-cut, doesn't it? Surely they can just say, look, doesn't hit the arm. Arm's moved out of the way. It's an easy call. And give the corner. Slow it down. It's nowhere near the arm, is it really? So for the second time in the match, Kenten Nemoto is the recipient of a positive decision. Will be a corner. This might be the best angle of all. There we go. Frontale player's not happy about something. Your guess is good as mine at the minute. Explanation to do to the Reds coach. Well, shouldn't this be a corner? Well, I think that's what the Frontale players were suggesting. Okay, not a penalty, fair. But doesn't it come off the Reds player? Referee, he's got different ideas, unless there was another decision that we're not privy to that would supersede a corner being given. Bottom line, we 1-1, and technically we've got 10 minutes remaining of this first half. In reality, who knows, could be 20. Mariyama. Harrison to try and flick it around the corner. Can't quite do that. Jibanada for Ito. Yamahara outside him. Push forward for the run inside the penalty area from Wakizaka. It's cleared away by Naganuma. Tsunagani for Mariyama. Broderson with a heavy-ish touch, but Watanabe can't take any sort of advantage. Reds have it again. Aneu's flick is good. Watanabe towards Aneu. Flag is up. Sonagani will leave it, Broderson will take, aims to go long. Big diagonal to try and hit Erison, who flicks it on cleverly for Marcinho, who looks to run at the Reds' backline. Marcinho! Really fine save from Nishikawa. This is Ito, and that's a corner. Brilliant flick from Erison, good centre-forward play here, good awareness to where his compatriot was. And good wing play, cutting between players. That was goal-bound, but for the intervention of Nishikawa. Sets himself well here, on his toes to bat that one away. Wakizaka to take the corner. Towards the near post, moved down by Nemoto. Fired goals, takes a big deflection. Yamahara's effort is blocked. Marco back up on his feet. Yamahara to take the throw. Ito. Yamahara. Tachibanada. Mariyama for Matsunagane. Well worked here back towards Ito. Oh, that's really clever. Yamahara to the byline to pull it back. Harrison beaten to it. Brilliant approach play from Kawasaki Frontale. 1- and 2-touch football. Clever leave, and Yamahara gets to the byline, tries to pull it back for Harrison. Credit the defensive work of Urawa Reds. It was Yasui that came across to get the block in. Another opportunity for Wakizaka. Mariyama is up from the back, the number 28. Matsunagane likewise. Lower trajectory. Clipped away by Urawa Reds. Yamamoto to curl it back in. Much more of the ball in this first half. Kawasaki Frontale 66%. 4 shots from just the one on target. Reds with a big XG 0.75 to Frontale's 0.13. Obviously an OG, a non-count towards that figure. Senior on the move again here. The flag has stayed down for now. Harrison is calling for it. Might get another go. Still has it. Massinho, Harrison trying to recycle here for Frontale. Whistle has gone. Well, that's the wrong call. If it was for offside, which I presume it was. Block from Nemoto. Maybe it's that decision. Harrison offside. Second phase of play potentially. As far as you can hear, it's a fairly short journey to Kawasaki from Saitama. Always travelling numbers. As their supporters got the club in some hot water a couple of years ago, banned from the 2024 Emperor's Cup because of supporter violence, reinstated last season. Lost out in the quarter-final to FC Tokyo. Oneu, Watanabe, Mateus Savio, and still he needs to bend that one a little bit more. He was close in. Just the one goal so far this season against Machida Zelvia. And the 2-1 home reverse once to Flamengo. Also played in Portugal with Estoril, former Brazilian under-20 international. Regular for Kashiwa Reysol for a long time. Kizaka under pressure, loses possession, right on the edge of the area. A yellow card, a deserved one as well. Shibato, the player that went down. Kizaka wanted a touch too many. Aneo did well. Wakizaka bringing down Shibato. Just a yard outside of the box. Second yellow card of the season. Brotherson organises the wall. Well, Matteo Savio, you would have thought would be favourite here from this sort of distance and angle. He fancies a look at this one. Shibato yet to score this season. More of a defensive midfielder than someone that take this sort of shot on. Tanabe may well pull rank the captain. Looks favourite, doesn't he, in the minute? Something different ahead of the wall. Just look at this. 4 Reds players. Well, they look to break to create some sort of opening. Not seen this routine before. Is it going to be Watanabe over the crossbar? Four players in front of the wall, something of a diversion if they were meant to break. They do duck. But as they duck, it's the Frontale wall that jumps. That's always going to take something special, relatively close in. Well, the 45 is just about up. But your guess is as good as mine for the added on time here. 10. Well, it's correct, I'm sure. We've had some significant stalls in this fixture, not least to sort out the opening goal. Yamato's headed effort in the second minute. Danilo Bosa's own goal. We want a piece. It's going to get better for Frontale here. Yamahara! Oh, hold it. Good running from the fullback. He's got forward to really good effect on this right-hand side. Scored against FC Tokyo back in February in a 2-1 home reverse. Sign from Espulse ahead of this season getting underway. 7 in 121 for his previous side. Comes the corner. Nemeto clears to the edge of the area. It's a clever first touch. Ito, and then the volleyed effort is skied. It's that Mariyama that took the shot on. Mura with the shot that was always rising. Just a one goal in his Kawasaki Frontale career, as we see Yamahara's effort again. Score in the Champions League group stages last season against Buriram United, the Thai side, back in November of the previous campaign. Not room to manoeuvre as Tachibanada goes down. Broderson. Nemoto with the header initially. Yamamoto half wins it back, and then the centre half for now. Matteo Savio. Sekine. Nemoto. Naganuma. Back towards the left back. Nemoto. And again, MEIJI just playing in front of the central defensive pair. Cleared away by Shibato, who stepped back after that early injury to Danilo Botsner, who's just been caught himself here. Forceful play from Edison. And a yellow card. Picked up 6 yellow cards last season. This is his first of this term. Sekine. Shibato. Flick forward foot, and Ewu to chase. Sanagani is strong enough. We've seen too much of Adon Ewu playing as the central striker. Japanese born player with Nigerian heritage who came back to play for Reds this season after a spell in German football with Magdeburg. Played in the second tier in Germany, didn't really get too many opportunities, only 4 appearances, 1 start. Prior to that, he was with Auxerre in France, and also had a spell at Toulouse. He scored plenty of goals in his first season at Toulouse in the 21-22 campaign, but that was in Ligue 2. Yamahara. And again, from Ito's touch. 5 minutes remaining of added on time at the end of this elongated first period. Ito. Tachibanada are unable to get to that. Here is Anewu, can't hold it up either. Yamamoto. Ito. Ball towards Edison, cleared away by Nemoto. We did have a spell with Reds back in 2017 to make more of an impression here. We got his move to European football after a really good spell with Marinos. 12 in just 14 starts in the 2021 season. Shibato. Cleverly done for Yasui. Up against Yamamoto. Yasui again. There's good awareness from the Reds players. Took that early advantage. But could not capitalise on that good start. Pegged back just 5 minutes later. Naganuma. Nemoto, Shibato. Matteo Savio to curl through, but no joy for Onewu. Last goal in Japanese football was July 2021 against Avispa Fukuoka for Marinos. 2-0 home win. Goals from Marsilio potentially. Yamamoto. Mariyama. Matsunagane. Centre half goes long, but he's given it away. Nemoto. Watanabe. Yasui. Kaneko a little bit better from Reds as the half draws to its conclusion. Kaneko's on the move again over on the left-hand side. That's a shove, surely, on Marcinho. Broderson punts long. Harrison looking to flick on, beaten in the air on this occasion by Shibato, who goes again. It's going to be a free kick. Two players go to ground. Frontale get the decision. Harrison on the deck. Fed back by Wakizaka. Yamahara, the target, controls instantly. Yamamoto to curl in. Marcinho and Harrison are both there. Harrison gets there first. Can't keep it down. Sort of chance that he doesn't usually squander. Really good movement by both of the Brazilians. Harrison getting there ahead of his teammate. Just over the crossbar. Ito beaten to it. Mateus Savio to take control. Ueki, substitute and debutant, to play it back. Nemoto. And that's the half. Nemoto's goal inside the opening couple of minutes that took an age to sort out after VAR, giving Reds the lead. An own goal by Danilo Boso, who went off injured shortly after, giving Frontale a leveller. Game that Frontale have dominated in terms of possession and have had the better chances. But we'll go in at the break all square here. Work to do for Shigetoshi Hasabi's side. At the break then, here is Kawasaki Frontale 1, Urawa Reds 1.
2026年6月13日あの J リーグオールスターが17年の時を超え MUFG 国立によみがえる J リーグオールスターダゾーンカップ開催決定。あの選手とあの選手が同じチームに、あの選手のアシストであの選手がゴールなどクラブ間の境界線を越えて熱狂できる。出場する選手を決める投票方法はご覧の3つ。詳しくは J リーグオールスター特設サイトへ。
Welcome back to the Kawasaki Todoroki Stadium in Nakahara, Kawasaki. The second half of this special season fixture between Kawasaki Frontale and Urawa Reds about to get underway. 1-1 at half-time. Kenta Namoto scoring the opening goal for Reds before Toronero equalised via an own goal. There's the tail of the tape as the second half is about to get underway. Koichiro Fukushima, our referee, gets the second period underway. One each at the minute. Kawasaki Frontale in blue, taking the goal away to our left in this second half as we watch. And an early stoppage. There's a challenge which came in. The play continues quickly. Ito has been busy on that right-hand side for Frontale with Yamahara. Those two have combined really well. Deep cross towards Marsilio. Comfortable claim from Nishikawa. But it is that right flank that seems to be working for Kawasaki Frontale. We've seen Rion Yamahara get forward on a number of occasions. He hasn't missed a minute of this J1 League season thus far. Ever present, the 26-year-old midfielder has been a key defender over the last few years for Kawasaki Frontale. His combination play with Tatsuya Ito has provided some good opportunities. Deliveries from the right-hand side have been good for Edison. Had a header just over the crossbar towards the end of the first half. Marcinho as well. Haven't seen enough of Marcinho maybe on that left-hand side. One really good run and cut in that brought the best out of Nishikawa in that first half. From a Reds point of view, well, they've conceded possession. Italy have had much more of the ball. And it would appear that set pieces potentially will be the route to a victory for Reds if it is to be a win for Maciej Skorca's side. They did score the first goal after a free kick was belted home with real power by Kenta Namoto. Survived a long VAR check before it was given. Let's see what they can do here. Movement on that left-hand side, not the worst ball in towards Aneu. It should be cleared away, but it's not, and it's forced in! Kaneko has given Reds the lead, and just like the first half, it is the visitors that strike early. Well, Frontale players almost stopped there as the ball pinballed around, but it sat up perfectly. And Takura Kaneko steered home from close range. Well, at one stage he probably was in an offside position, but as the break from Naganuma unravelled, he certainly got himself back in a correct position to just guide in from a couple of yards out when Broderson was on the deck. Is he suggesting here, the keeper, that he was fouled by Oneu? Either way, it's the Red supporters celebrating. Well, now we've got another wait. Hopefully it will not be as long as the one early in the first half to assess whether there was a player in an offside position. Now, at one stage, Kaneko certainly was. We're going to have another look. But at least here, Koichiro Fukushima is going to cross to have a look. The incident in the first half, he was marooned on the pitch as others took charge, but he's been called across to take a look at this. I just wonder whether they'll call Aneu an offside position here. Let's have a look at this. Well, Aneu is at the feet of Broderson. That's what you've got to look at. Is he impeding the keeper? Well, from that angle, you'd say yes. That's the shot that's blocked, but Aneu is in front of Broderson. I think this one might be chalked off. Well, there's no doubt that Aneu's right at the foot of Broderson, who goes one way because he thinks the shot's coming that's blocked. Surely this one's going to get chalked off. there's been many discussions about whether the forward players, attacking players, are impeding goalkeepers world over in VAR discussions. Many talk about just positioning of players. Well, this one, he's right next to the keeper and the keeper falls over him. I guess, I mean, they're talking, I mean, he's in an offside position, obviously. Let's see. That's the right call. It's not Kaneko. I mean, that is exhibit A of impeding a keeper, isn't it, really? Down for the first time in the fixture. Marcinho denied. Urawa a little frustrated with himself. A heavy touch that allows Reds to have a throw in here. This is Watanabe, another throw in. Off the pace from a playoff standpoint, these two sides. There will be playoff games between East and West clubs to determine full league position. And at the end of this special season, as it's being dubbed, and then of course the summer off, and Japanese football fans will be looking for the national side to provide some entertainment. There is a suggestion that it's the best ever Japanese national side, and they did beat England, of course, in a friendly. The vast majority of the players pulled from European clubs. The two local players might hope to make the squad. And then a full 38-game season will start as we go into the autumn, back end of the summer, to line up with the European leagues. Rest assured the penalty shootout will be dropped when we get back to the regular campaign. Just something a little bit different that I think the supporters have really enjoyed. Whether the players have, well, it depends if you convert your spot kick or not. Kaneko. Savio, first time, good looking board as well, but it spins away from Watanabe. Got himself in some really good positions, ever present so far this season. Real box-to-box midfielder. A couple of goals so far this campaign. You can see what Matteo Savio's MO is. He's the creator-in-chief. Players on the ends of those through balls and those chances that he creates. Watanabe got 7 goals last season, 6 prior to that after moving from FC Tokyo. He started his career in Germany with Ingolstadt. Kaneko does well, rise to challenge, but Eriksson was fouled prior to that. Free kick. Ito's popped up on the left-hand side. What can you do here? Mura continues his run. Harrison lets it go. It was Marcinho, wasn't it, inside the penalty area? Naganuma. Really good positive play from the fullback initially. Marcinho let it go. Onewu. Options left and right. Janela wants to play back. This is Onewu! And Kaneko! This time it will count. Onewu had a hand in it. His positivity started the run. And Kaneko finished from close range. Good movement between the forward players here, cutting across the first attempted challenge. And then as the ball came back, and it was a miss kick, really, wasn't it, from Onewu? But Kaneko was there. And on the edge of the 6-yard box, just had to lift it over Broderson. Reds have the advantage. Finds himself in those sort of positions regularly, but that's his first goal of the season. And Majesco's side have the advantage. Nothing wrong with that finish. Just a one goal last season makes you wonder why he doesn't score more, really. He was a regular goal scorer, as we see Harrison come forwards here for Contadori Sapporo before moving to European football. Had a loan spell at Dinamo Zagreb before moving to Belgian football in Kortrijk. Came back last season to Japan and Reds, only got the one goal last term in J1 league action. Did score a couple of goals in the Emperor's Cup, including in the quarter-final defeat to FC Tokyo. That's his first of this term, and it's a big one as well. Shibato plays it back. Marcinho just can't get there. Shibato. Nishikawa. Nemoto. Oh, they played through the press brilliantly here, Urawa Reds. Kaneko is calling for it again. Here he is. It's Kaneko. Just got his fingertips to that one, Broderson, I think. Not quite sure if it was sneaking in far post, but the giant German keeper wasn't to know. And covered the left-hand side as he saw it. Again, it's really good movement. Been going in. This is a better angle. Onewu just a little late arriving on the scene. Got the tails up at the moment, Urawa Reds. Just a season that hasn't really shown any sort of consistency. They have a corner here. Mateus Savio to take. Outswing, a good delivery, flicked on and over. Who said it looked like it took a touch off another Reds player. Good movement from the striker. Let's take a look here. There's the first touch. Naganuma, I think he was, didn't know a lot about it. Wakizaka. Yamamoto rides one challenge, comes racing forwards here. towards Ito, but it was the wrong ball, really. Erison through the centre, Barsinho on this near side. Frontale supporters doing their best. This is Yamahara. Tachibanada, Yamamoto to curl in towards Wakizaka. Namoto. Yamahara again. Ito. 3 waiting for the delivery. Ito looks to go on the outside of Ueki, and the debutant does well. Anewu wants a free kick, isn't going to get one. Ito wins the throw. Really piling on the pressure. Just look at the stats here for the last 15 minutes, the first 15 of this second period. 5 shots for Reds, 0 for Kawasaki Frontale, and Shigetoshi Hasabi will know that that has to change. Marcinho turns cleverly. He's shoved over, referee agrees, Sakina the perpetrator. And a lot to shout about the home supporters. Beat Kashiwa Reysol opening weekend this 100-year Vision League. Since then, defeats to FC Tokyo and Marinos 5-0, of course. Shootout one over Mito to grab an extra point, but just the one win in the 90 in front of their own supporters. Frontale with a free kick. Yamamoto's going to curl this one in. Player in his day, won the title with Kawasaki, played for Vissel Kobe as well, retired back in 2003. Generally done well with his coaching career, led Avispa Fukuoka to J1 promotion, and also won the League Cup with Avispa. Edison. Chibanada with a touch, Ito slips, Yamahara helps out. Yamamoto, clever ball here for Mora, who's got a bit of space. Can he measure the cross? Oh, it's a mistake here from Nishikawa, and it's still not away. Ito. Yamahara, pressure still on. Better from Kawasaki Frontale. Tachibanada. Sunagane joining in. Here is Tachibanada again. Mariyama. Marcinho. Mora. Marcinho. It's a throw. Shikawa always stretching to get to this one. It's off the top of the fingertips. Clearance. It's a bit awkward, but just about effective. 39 now. Saku Nishikawa. 600 career appearances. 31 Japanese caps. Over a decade ago with Sanfrecce Hiroshima. This is Wakizaka. Yamahara curls in, another corner. disappointingly from a Frontale point of view. Change of foot, Lazar. Romanic. About to come on. He's featured in every single game. Came through the Zvezda Academy. Joined last summer. One back cleverly now then. Matheus Savio. Ueki. Kaneko, can he get there first? Sliding challenge. Kaneko. Waiting for a bit of support, slows things down a little. This is Akine. Wrong direction at the moment, but retaining possession. 25 minutes remaining here. A real big boost here for Reds if they can pick up a rare away victory. Matheus Savio, let's fly. Broderson inside his 6-yard box here. Up goes the signal from Matheus Savio. Outswinger here. Runners from the edge of the penalty area. Change of plan, maybe. Whipped in towards Adeu. Ends up on the deck. This is Kaneko with a volley. Takes a deflection. Nearly pops off for Ueki. Another opportunity. The second shot is charged down. Through towards Broderson. It was Sakina that got the final shot that was blocked. Matheus Savio. Watanabe for Kaneko, who was caught by Mura. Well, Reds are really beginning to dominate here. They've had much more of the opportunities in this second period. In terms of the first changes to be made by Frontale, it's going to be Edison and Marcinho coming off, and Romanic and Miyagi coming on. It's interesting to see the two Brazilians be swapped out. Lazar Romanic, as we were suggesting, has featured in every single game this season, yet to score. Joined Frontale last summer after playing in Greek football with Lamia and Temiyaki. Japanese forward, still really developing at senior level, but scoring the League Cup against Reds last season. Didn't start the previous fixture. But it's Urawa Reds that have the free kick. Matheus Savio to curl in. Lanic with a header away. Naneu, Kaneko. Leave it to each other here. Kaneko eventually takes charge, and then it's forced forward for Romanic to chase. He won't get there. Mura will. Savio. Chibanada felt. Here he is again. Ito. Yamahara. Mora. Given away. Just a little sloppy. Kaneko. Away from Mora. No one really wide left at the moment, but Naganuma is making giant strides. Nemoto for Naganuma. See, Watanabe is the furthest player forward at the moment. It's as if he's playing off Aneu. Ramanic chasing everything down to apply a little bit of pressure. Joining in, but again, Reds play through that mini press far too easily. So you won't be happy with that, but it's something that Francesco was talking about. Nagamuna will play it back to the edge of the area, but nobody there in Reds colours. He has got forward Naganuma on that left-hand side. He's looked a real threat. He's just not been a regular offensive player from that left-back position. Given away. Oh, that's sloppy from Watanabe. Really should have done better. Just a little bit of fatigue creeping in. Not necessarily though for Yasui. He was slowed down a little bit. Yamamoto. Matsunagane. Tachibanada. Ramanic. Ito. A lot of space on this near side for Mora. Here is Mora. First touch wasn't great. Does manage to get the cross in and win a corner. Fans are doing their best. 21,735 in the Kawasaki Todoroki Stadium. The biggest capacity in the J1 League. Yamamoto to curl in. Brodersen. Yamahara. Given away. That's a poor ball forward. Alteration here for Kawasaki Frontale. Be a blow for sure for Kawasaki Frontale. Take on Kashima Antlers next, incidentally. And then away at Malinos, which is always tough, despite their poor season last campaign. We're playing too much better this season, in fairness. An awful start, didn't they, to 2025, in the relegation zone. Was, of course, leading the way in Group B, so that's going to be really difficult. Unbeaten, in fact, through their opening 9 games, 7 wins. They've been excellent. Certainly defensively, only conceded 5. So Kobe lead the way in the West. Clear of Kawasaki. 2 from the league. This place team playoff for of claiming this special season title. It's plenty of football to be played before those late May playoffs. 2 legs as well, incidentally. Kanasoma is coming on. Tatsuya Ito, forced done pretty well on the flank. He's coming off. Kanda is only 20. So interesting to see how he gets on. It is an opportunity, this league, to pull a few inexperienced players. Didn't make his debut some 3 years ago in 2024. Mura can't get to that. Ramanic. Comes the shot. Yamato with the block to Hizaka. Score last season, Kanda, in the 3-1 win over Albirex Niigata back in June. And did play for Japan in the World Cup at under-20 level last autumn. Japan beat with the round of 16 by France. Some really good wins in the group stages over New Zealand, Chile and Egypt. Concede a goal. Really good young players coming through. Outswing of the delivery, and Ayu at the back to clear away. Chibanada recycles and goes again. Full weight inside the penalty area, more on the edge of the box. Yamamoto is one of them. Looks to clip it in. Ramanic with a header! 2-2. Substitute makes his mark. Really good delivery from the right-hand side. And it's a textbook header, really, from the Serbian striker. Good movement inside the area as well here. Just keep your eye on the 91 near the penalty spot. Just gets in front of his marker, Nemoto. He gets plenty of power. Really good header to beat Nishikawa, and it's 2-2 with 13 minutes remaining. First of the season for Ramanic. Scored 2 last season after his switch from Vojvodina. Did play previously in Greek football with Lamia. Never the most prolific. And come through at Crvena Zvezda. Got the tails up now, Frontale all of a sudden. Mura. Still going. Yamamoto's touch. Tachibanada. Full power and the movement, brilliant header. He's got a couple against Kashiwa Reysol in a crazy 4-4 draw last season. And sent off in his next appearance later on against Kyoto Saga. Mura. Ramanic waits. Miyagi. Tachibanada. Keneko. He's giving it away. Mura, that's clever. And shoved, was he? Free kick. Now in control, the opening 25 minutes of the second period. Urawa Reds find themselves on the back foot, and Matthias Scores is going to make more alterations. Matchweek's motto. His delivery's been good in this second half to curl this one in. Six waiting, Frontale blue, curled in, the foot doesn't come off. Delivery poor on that occasion. Savio's not the slowest. Change here for Urawa Reds. You see Renji Hidano, a bit of a surprise that he didn't start for me. Kaneko is coming off, scorer of the second goal. Yasui also to be replaced. And it's Hiroki Abe who is coming on. So 2 alterations late on for Urawa Reds. Ramanic's chasing everything down at the moment. He's got the bit between his teeth. Oneu. Rather Sakine on this near side. Here's Watanabe. Savio was calling for it, edge of the penalty area, ignored. Abe, who's come on, was on the books of Barcelona. Only played for the B team, but obviously has got ability. Just a couple of substitute appearances so far this season. Having initially come through at Kashima Antlers. As you mentioned, 3 goals this season, but not in his last 3. After 4 in his previous 5, stretching back to late last campaign. And only made his debut in November of last year and did score on his debut against Fajano Okayama, winner late on. Watanabe. Remaining, we get a winner here between the two. Will the shootout decide the extra point? Abe goes again. Should be able to get there. No. He's done a 4-year contract at Barcelona. Abe has had injury issues. Hidano initially with the run. Matthias Savio. Here is Abe. Sakine drives to the byline, still has it. This is Matthias Savio, and eventually it's Watanabe shot does come in. Ramanic brought down, free kick, alleviates the pressure. Wakey it was that took it on. Plenty of bodies in the way in blue. Mura. Ramanic. Now then, it's going to be a free kick. It might be a card as well. It's a forceful touch, but I think he would have got there. Shibato into the book. All eyes on Ramanic, see if he can do what he did just a few minutes ago and grab another. Kawasaki Frontale with a free kick then here. Mora to spin in, cleared away, and then volleyed back towards goal. Might get another go here, it's wide. Never really a clear-sided goal, that was the issue. Maneu cleared. And the shot times 2, the first block. And then the second wide of the target here. Just unable to turn that one towards goal, Ten Miyagi. Shots between them here. Ramanic. Watanabe loses out. Miyagi. Further alterations coming. Kisatelin is about to come on. Oneu, runners left and right here. Oh, Watanabe was in, right-hand side, didn't spot him. Well, we're heading for a shootout unless something dramatic happens here. It's a poor challenge, isn't it? From Naganuma. Still in on the right-hand side, giant striker. Neu to come off. And Nakajima also on for Mateus Savio, which is a bit of a surprise. Midfielder being used as a substitute this season. Japanese international, spells in Europe with Portimonense and Porto, and a league title with Porto. Kawahara also coming on. Check that change in just a second. Kisatelin. Flick is good. Suddenly, Reds are on the move again. Space for Naganuma. Looks to set it back here. The shot's going to spin through and it's comfortable for Broderson. Yamamoto on for Kawahara. Sorry, Kawahara, the player that came on for Yamamoto. And Nakajima and Kistelin on for Mateo Savio and Oneu. Yamamoto has played well in fits and starts. Teed up the lever, of course. We've got 5 minutes of added on time. Watanabe. Urawa Reds to finish on a high here, and they grab a late winner. Watanabe to take the corner then here for Urawa Reds in front of the travelling fans. Outswing, a good delivery towards Nemoto. Spins away for a Reds throw. Taken quickly. Abe. Nemoto. So the Reds throw. Mahara complains. Touch from Oeki. He's done really well coming on so early in his debut. Watanabe. Shoved off it by Mora, who shows real determination and strength here. And the outside of the boot pass towards Romanic nearly made its way through. Nemoto. Watanabe. To this right-hand side again, good running from Hidaro. Second to lay it off. To receive. Mariyama. 2.5 minutes remaining. Mora stretches, can't keep it in. It's disappointing. He's put a shift in on this near side, certainly. Second half. Mahara's ball just had a bit too much on it for someone who's been playing for 93 minutes. We'll add the extra 10 on from the first half, make it 103. To the edge of the area, Romanic. Shot taken on, finds the corner. Keeper unsighted, and it's a substitute. They managed to grab what surely is a winner here for Kawasaki Frontale. So Kawahara, with his first of the season, took aim from distance. Nishikawa, I think, was unsighted. He dived late. Let's take another look at this. Didn't seem too much danger on initially. Romanic lost possession, spun back out beyond the penalty area, but an accurate finish here from the substitute. How about this across the keeper, who seemed to see it late. Kawahara for Kawasaki Frontale, and the hosts lead by 3-2 with just a minute of added on time remaining. Shigetoshi Hasabi has been out of luck really this season with his Frontale side, but having gone 2-1 down here, Romanic and Kawahara should see them grab a 3-2 victory. What you would suggest is the alterations, the subs have worked wonders. The decisions made by the coach have done for Urawa, whose supporters are shocked. So Kawahara, who is a low league player for the early stages of his career, played in J3, rose up to be a useful player for Frontale this season. And the first goal this campaign should be a winning one. It's not been easy for home supporters this campaign. So Kawahara came through at Ruaso Kumamoto in the third tier. Regular starter last season. In and out the side this campaign. I think has done enough to grab the full 3 points. Extra minute, this might be it. Kawahara's cracker for Kawasaki, and it's Shigotoshi Hasabi's side with a big 3 points here in this special season. Maciej Skorza's men were a goal up and 2-1 up. But they were pegged back twice before So Kawahara's strike deep into added on time at the end of the game breaks Reds' hearts. Kaneko, who scored the second on the right-hand side there for Reds, can't believe it, and neither can the travelling fans. Disappointment for Maciej Skorza's team and their followers, who saw their side go in front very early on in the opening couple of minutes of this fixture through Nemoto before Danilo Boza. An own goal made it 1-1, and then he went off injured. Kaneko made it 2-1 just before the hour, but Ramanic, a brilliant header, and Kawahara's terrific strike gives the points for Frontale, who've won by 3-2. A lot of respect between the two coaches. And these games have given us plenty of drama previously. The 2-2 league draw last season and the League Cup clashes as well. Maciej Skorza can't believe it. He thought that his side had control. They came out from the half-time break firing on all cylinders. They were the most dominant side. They were the team creating opportunities. They took one of them. They had one disallowed also correctly, and then just took their foot off the gas and allowed Kawasaki Frontale to probe away. Ramanic's header was brilliant, and Kawahara's strike gave the points to the hosts. So Kawahara, player to watch along with Ramanic. First full season in the J-League, more to come from him. His first of the season as it is for So Kawahara. Disappointment for Mateus Savio and those Reds players who would have thought that they could manage the game from 2-1 up, but it did not happen for them. Disappointing in the end for Maciej Skorza. Came back to the club, of course, having led Urawa to the Asian Champions League crown before it was revamped. And they were hoping for a good spring series, a good 100-year Vision League to gain momentum to the next proper season starting in autumn. However, this is a blow for Reds fans world over as Kawasaki Frontale grab a win by the odd goal in 5. Together on 11 points heading into this fixture. Frontale will move clear of their rivals today and start to think about catching those above them. They're still some 7 points behind Kashima Antlers. They will fancy their chances of potentially hunting down the side that they play next, remember. That will be a huge game in the context of the Eastern Group. See Tokyo and Machida Zelvia also above them in the standings. The third win of the campaign in the 90 is very much a move in the right direction. As you can see, the Reds fans not happy at all. Let's get some post-match reaction.
川崎フロンターレの劇的決勝ゴール、川原壮選手です。川原選手の劇的ゴールがチームに3試合ぶりの勝利をもたらしました。今の気持ちいかがでしょう。
まあ素直に嬉しいです。
ゴールシーン振り返っていただきたいんですが、振り抜きましたね。
そうですね、もう正直あんまり